a little recap.
Dennis Taylor was found dead in his apartment. Let's see. His body was discovered because...
Fire.
Yes.
This is the
but by
only
the
time I remember in the
firefighters arrived
game
on
where
the
this
scene, the
recap
fire
has
had
been
already
used.
gone out. His corpse was found on the bed.
That's right. The FBI and police initially ruled this case as a suicide. The reason for that was...
Slashed wrist. The corpse was wearing a shirt. So, if I were to decapitate myself and I were still wearing a shirt, would that be a suicide? I want to click that. Just see. Hold on. I've heard that if you click some ridiculous answers, then you get a ridiculous response.
How could I do that?
Nope.
That's correct. The other reason was...
His door was locked?
Indeed. The slashed wrist and the chain door point towards suicide.
And the fact that he didn't run from the fire, I guess.
He was so desperate for death that he would both slit his wrist and set his room on fire. That isn't a surprising conclusion.
The knife blade does match the shape of the wound in the wrist. The blood on the blade matches his DNA. Lastly, the deceased's fingerprints were found on the handle of the knife.
Those are all true, but there was something odd about that wound on his wrist. First...
Was this entirely necessary? Come on, we
Another
just went
point
over
is-
this. The knife was in his right
His
hand.
finger was fractured. Would he have been able to use a knife with a wounded hand?
It's very unlikely, but that's not the only thing that raises doubt. If he did die of the knife wound, he would have bled to death. However, investigating the corpse points to a different cause of death. That is...
Asphyxiation. Oh, hemorrhaging of the eyes.
That's
Which
right.
points
the
to
petechia
asphyxiation.
on the eyes and the strange bruise on his abdomen.
For the record, that
There's
strange
more
bruise
than
isn't
enough
going to be
evidence to
useful
doubt
until
that this
later.
was a suicide.
Like around the end of this.
But according to the electrician's statement, the victim seemed like he might be in a state to commit suicide.
Indeed. There are too many uncertainties to be able to draw a conclusion at this point. I'm going to have to investigate the scene for myself. Little guy, get me approval to enter the area.
Oh, understood. You shouldn't have a problem, Dr. Kimishima. I'm sure my bosses will approve you right away.
Yes, but I don't intend to waste any time. I'm going there right now. You deal with the rest on your end.
Okay, now we get the map screen. So basically, we go to the move screen, then we go to exit, where we now go to Dennis's room. Okay, now we gotta go look at stuff. So this is where the investigation phase of Phoenix Wright kicks in. Alright, so you're gonna want to look at
Who's in the
this,
picture? The deceased's friend?
oddly enough.
I see. I was so caught up in the case that I didn't check the man's background. Hello, little guy. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I hear you. Did you need something, Dr. Kimishima?
Yes. Can you do me a favor and look into the deceased's friends? I'm going to send you a picture right now. Try getting a hold on whoever that is.
All right. Is there anything in particular you'd like us to find out?
Let's see. First, about the deceased himself. It'd be great to find out more about the day of the incident.
Apparently there's more
Alright,
voice dialogue in
I'll
this
make
game than there
preparations
is in
to have
Persona
the question.
4. Which is crazy to me, because
I'll send
Persona
you the
4
recordings
is
of their
a
answers,
very
so
long
please check the
RPG.
recorder.
This game lasted
Good.
me about 20
I'm glad
hours.
you can get on this so quickly. I'll be counting on you.
Most of that was diagnostics and forensics, to be honest, but still. This has more voice dialogue than Persona 4.
This is where the deceased's corpse
My
was.
god.
If this bloodstain is his blood, then...
He was lying on his back. Oh, doing a handstand?
That was careless.
Ah. Man, I want a ridiculous answer. Or response.
Yes, the injury was on his left wrist. From the position of the blood stain, it would appear he was lying face up on the bed. There was only the one bloodstain, so he didn't move around much after his wrist was slit. If this truly is a suicide, that would mean that he bled to death here. However, the amount of hemorrhaging here seems to be too small for a man to completely bleed out.
See these tools right here that I'm highlighting? They're not, we don't have access to them yet. Okay, next thing.
It's the ceiling fan. There's a speed selector and a timer. One of the blades seems to be broken though.
It's odd because the repairman came in that day to, you know, fix the air.
The electrician had supposedly come to fix the air. I need to review his testimony to confirm what he actually fixed. This is a tape.
And now we go down here.
Now that I look closely, the burns are most severe right here. What was burning here?
I thought that was like a silhouette of a potted plant the first time I saw this card.
I might find out what was on fire on the table.
And we're done in here. Back to the office, exit, yes. To the office, and to the awesome music. Oh, hello. Dr. Keemish. Okay, we got a new voice recording. Let's go check that out. Victim's behavior. Alright.
What you want, man? Why are you calling me out here? Huh? You want to talk about Dennis? You're better off asking his girlfriend. Her name's, Stella. Yeah, she's at the club down on Roulette Street. Yeah, she can probably tell you more about Dennis than I can. That guy, huh? No, nothing. He's a friend of mine, you know? I don't hate him. We'd been drinking together the night before he died, after all. We'd been drinking together. He did seem pretty flush recently, if you know what I mean. He called me up out of the blue and, said he'd pick up the tab that night. He was all proud of this red Portland Jacks t-shirt he was wearing, too. The red one.
A Portland Jacks t-shirt.
A red t-shirt?
The victim was wearing that shirt on the day of the incident.
Didn't look like that on the personal effects.
In any case, after hearing this testimony, it seems hard to believe that the deceased would have committed suicide. That reminds me, the man said in his interview that the deceased had a girlfriend. I wonder if HQ knows who she is. This is worth asking Little Guy about.
Yes, did you call Dr. Kimishima?
I need you to look into somebody for me. A woman named Stella Abbott.
Oh, the deceased's girlfriend? Well, technically his ex...
That doesn't matter. Can you find her?
We already have. HQ's just finished questioning her. Oh, should I send you the recording?
Please.
Wow.
Now, if you don't mind. I feel like I'm getting closer to understanding who Dennis Taylor really is.
Oh, I don't have the recording? Okay, now we have to go look at the personal effects. That doesn't look like a red t-shirt to me. I don't know about you guys, but that looks more like a white button-up shirt to me. Same controls as examining a corpse.
That reminds me. Someone mentioned the clothing that the deceased was wearing on the day of the incident. That's odd. There's nothing that stands out about the clothing. Somebody said something about what the deceased had been wearing that day.
I think that's all we can learn. Well, let's check out here. No. We're all set. At least we should be. Okay, back to the office. Computer. Okay, now that we have plenty of cards, we can now go left and right to see, just check the list of all of it.
something about this shirt.
Fuse these
is
two cards
bothering
together.
me.
Different color.
That's right. The deceased was apparently wearing a red t-shirt on the day of the incident. Did he change after he got home? Or was there some reason for changing his shirt? This does raise some doubts. The electrician supposedly came to the victim's room to fix his air, but he didn't repair the ceiling fan? Or did the fan break after the electrician had left?
That is still a cool computer background.
In any case, I'll need to hear
I'm just like
his
staring at it. Oh yeah, analyze the ashes, little guy. What is it? Remains of the fire. Okay, so now that's been checked out.
One moment, please.
How come this gets voiced and the other thing doesn't?
A stain of that size would take about 800 milliliters of blood.
Wow.
The average
Those are
adult
quick.
male would have to
I couldn't-
lose at least
I wouldn't
1,500
figure that out.
milliliters in order to bleed to death. This means that
That's not blood.
how can I do that?
I love these ridiculous answers. He might not have bled to death. That's what you want to click. For the record, if you seriously clicked, that's not blood, then there's something wrong with you.
The amount of blood loss required varies from person to person, so this isn't quite proof. It is
I just
unusual,
clicked it because I
though.
thought I was going to get a
I'll have to
humorous
remember
response. And I didn't. Okay, wait a second. What happened to the guy's thing? Okay, so I think that's all we can take a look at here. Okay, now we gotta go look at the
Dr.
electrician's
Kimishima,
thing.
Did you receive the voice data?
From the deceased's girlfriend? Have you
Now
sent
we
it?
have. Now we have Miss
You should be able to
Abbott's
listen to it
voice
using a
data.
recorder. Please listen to it when you can.
Right. First, I want to know about the deceased's source of income.
It did seem fairly well off for somebody without a steady job.
Indeed. I'll be listening for that while I'm going over the recording.
Okay. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go check out the electrician's testimony some more. What did he fix?
That was-
I'm gonna take.
Yes. Yeah, it was really quick. Right. Yes,
He fixed the heat.
There we Hey! It's too hot to need the heater. Like, according to the old lady, it was like
Yes, the deceased's neighbor
spring,
mentioned
summer.
that. Summer is already starting. And yet, on the day of the incident, the deceased wanted to have his heater repaired. There's something strange about this after all.
Okay, back to the voice recorder, so now we can check out Miss Abbott's recording. Dennis's
Seriously?
income.
What do you guys want? I've got work to do, so let's...
Oh, sorry. Sorry about that.
Seriously? What do you guys want? I've got
Must have
work to
accidentally
do,
hit B.
so let's get this over with. Huh? Dennis? I mean, Dennis Taylor? Wow, that name brings back bad memories. We broke up years ago. Yeah, at first I thought he was an interesting guy, pretty cool and all. But he never had a job, and he just kind of wandered through life. Oh, but he always had money. I'm sure he didn't come by it honestly. Oh, but he
Oh no! Come on! Sorry about that again. Okay, I think we're at
Are you really this slow?
8.
Don't you get it? Drugs. He was a drug dealer.
Good heavens. The deceased's been holding on to quite a secret. I'm going to have to change the way I approach this case. Let's go through the information we have, now that we know the deceased's true identity.